Joining me today on Republic Defense is Air Marshal Sanjeev Kapoor, a man who has donned many hats. Air Marshal Kapoor, few minutes ago we heard Antonio Guterres' response to what the two operative words was. One was like he has condemned Pahalgam attack, nothing new there. He has also said that yes, they should be brought to justice, but then again the normal words like restraint and maturity and all that were thrown in. What's your first reaction to this?
See, United Nations over a period of time started to lose its relevance. It is marred by a lot of countries' involvement, which is becoming more and more evident.
Correct.
So the Russia-Ukraine war, Israel-Hamas war, or the wars before that, they have convened the meetings, but with absolutely no outcome or result.
No effective outcome.
So if they feel that by their Secretary General speaking, there is going to be any change in the outcome, I doubt very much.
That was my question. Like, do you think there will be any change in India's?
No, because this time it is a trap, in my opinion, that has been laid out. The trap is that there was internal turmoil both in 2016 and 2019 in Pakistan. The Pakistanis that time was under Nawaz Sharif in 2016, and they were going through a very tough patch with the army. The finances were down. Yeah. So they did this thing of Uri. But when it came to Pahalgam, the Balakot period, Pulwama, at that time Imran Khan had just taken over in 2018.
Correct.
So what happened in 2019 is that they wanted to take away the internal conflicts from their country, and they stuck. Now what I have been saying at various forums is that taking out 100, 200 terrorists through a camp does send a message, but it has got very little real effect.
It's not a lasting solution.
The madrasas there are producing hundreds of them to die.
Yeah.
So this is like trimming the branch of a tree. But this time is different, I have a feeling, wherein the Prime Minister, the Defense Minister and the leadership have said it is not the people who were involved, it is the people behind the scenes and their masters who will be targeted. So in my appreciation, it could be the ISI and the Pakistani army that would be affected. The next issue which your viewers should understand is that everybody in Pakistan is wary of the Pakistani Punjabi.
Yes.
They have no problem otherwise, but they are wary of the Pakistani Punjabi because Pakistani Punjabis have ill-treated Balochis, Sindhis, Pathans, Gilgit-Baltistan people, Sindhis in a very, very manner which is very derogatory. And they control everything in their country. The army, the bureaucracy, the businesses, this thing. And they have only one way to get results is Punjabi में कहते हैं खुड़ा मार के रखो, hit them, keep them under the boots. So they did this in 71 in Bangladesh also. So they believe in oppressing the other party to a level wherein they succumb and give. Now it continued for last 70, 80 years, but with reforms coming, with digital connectivity, with awareness, with globalization, today a person is aware as to
they're getting exposed. Their nefarious and gruesome techniques are getting exposed.
Correct. And what they did is, see the irony of that country, the most important political leader, Imran Khan, is in jail. The ISI chief now has been appointed NSA 3 days ago. What happens now? The little bit of political control over the country, this thing is also diminished. First time in the history that a serving ISI chief has been made NSA. So the little bit of gap also has removed. So what the army chief in Pakistan has done, he has put his own person there. So every decision of that country now is with him.
And on that point, I would like to ask you, there's a remarkable shift. Earlier, we used to see that Pakistan army used to have that bravado that, okay, come on, we'll take you on and all that. all that stuff. But this time, if you see the UN Secretary General's statement, it's probably the Pakistan army and ISI, they know that India will take a decisive action. So they are on the back foot, and they want their political leaders to intervene and go and reach out to UN. So it's first time, it's a sign of clear weakness that they are seeking refuge with their political leaders. That please help us from this, from India's strike. You think that's going to work?
This will not work, because what has happened is Chanakya's, this thing, Sam, Dam, Dand,
yes.
all we are using. So I'll give you a breakdown. First, diplomatically, we have engaged 180 countries out of 193 after this exit.
Correct.
So our foreign ministry has gone. See, if you notice, after 2019 Balakot strike, if you recall,
yes.
Who did the briefing in South Bloc? It is not the armed forces.
Okay.
It is not the military. It was not the defense minister. It was the foreign secretary who briefed the world that we did so and so. Now, Prime Minister cut short his visit to Saudi Arabia when Pahalgam happened. He cut short, he landed in Delhi. Who received him? The foreign secretary.
Foreign secretary, yeah. Vikram Misri.
Who briefed him in Palam? The foreign secretary. So you have to read how the country is, moving
evolving
ahead. So we have engaged with 180 foreign countries, giving our point of view. So we are trying to bring all the nations on board and preparing them that the action which we are taking is a justified one, and it is not off the cuff. Second, what we have done is, we have cut off the water of Indus Water Treaty. We have fought 3 big wars from the treaty, but never ever India has taken the option of cutting off the
extreme
water
step.
This time, before the war itself, or before any conflict or any operation, we have decided to cut off the water. It pinches them the maximum.
Correct.
The last time in Uri, it happened, we cut off the most favored nation status in 2016.
But that had only
economically. But this time,
direct people,
the common man. And what will happen now? I was just covering Pakistani Punjabis. The upper 3 riparian rivers of the Indus Water Treaty do not go through Pakistani Punjab. So it goes through Sindh and into Arabian Sea. What they have done is they have made dams and canals, and the complete water is brought into Pakistani Punjab, from where the agriculture and Sindh. Now, what the Punjabis of Pakistan are doing, they are in any case stopping the canal water to Sindh, so there is a water shortage going on in Sindh, and a lot of protests, if you read.
A humanitarian crisis as well.
Now, with this Indus Water thing, the Pakistani Punjab will not get water. And this is where their top leadership, army, ISI people
who control. You heard that Bilawal Bhutto's extreme comment about,
So this is, and if it prolongs, the Punjab of Pakistan will be turned into desert in about a decade's time. So they are worried onto this aspect wherein their livelihood and their survival is at stake. Now, Balochistan is under, you've seen from Jafar Express
one
to
city,
and some
Nalat or some city has
Kalat has, some villages have been taken. Kalat is a place from where the Khan of Kalat, who acceded in 1948 to Pakistan, the whole conflict, and the BLA has regrouped there. It started
It's the headquarters of
this thing. So there, and a lot of provinces there, the Pakistani control is not there. So it is run by the. In Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, the TTP along with Taliban around the Durand line are creating havoc for Pakistan. I was reading somewhere the paramilitary is running away. The Iranian border, which they have to their west, has a lot of pockets where Shia-Sunni conflict is going on in their area. Sindh has large amount of protests. The POK is having protests in their own region. They want to accede with India. The Gilgit-Baltistan. So what has happened in the last 70 odd years is that the Pakistani Punjabis have tried to take away resources and everything and used it for them.
And keep it limited to that segment.
So the ISI, the Pakistani army, has their hand in everything in the country. And the other part for your viewers is that the narrative they have been able to build for their own people in last 70 years is outstanding. They have told the people that they have won all the wars. They have told the people There is no mention
Correct,
in their
correct.
narrative that they had 93,000 prisoners,
They've
that
lost
because
so
of
many.
their failure, the East Pakistan was lost and Bangladesh.
True.
They have nothing. So the beauty is that they are selling a narrative to the people, and a common man in Pakistan starts to believe that their savior is only the armed forces. So, and they have
Correct.
been playing on this.
Correct.
But with this internal turmoil, with all this which is happening, a common man is now sensing to realize that they've been. So Imran Khan, before he got arrested, was public. No prime minister has ever in their history gone on stage and mic and criticized their armed forces.
Yeah.
So this is where the fallout started to begin. And that's how he is in prison. So there is a lot of internal turmoil in their own country, which is advantageous to us. And this situation, which I feel is similarly like 1971 conflict, wherein there was internal, anguish against the Pakistani army in the masses because of the ill treatment. There was a passion for liberation and independence, which we are finding in Khyber and Pakhtunkhwa, Balochistan, in Gilgit. People want to move out from this. And economically, they are being strangled. Now, with water stopping, and a common man, when he doesn't get his basics, he is going to protest.
Correct.
The summers are coming, so electricity.
And that will be difficult for the Pak army and everybody to control.
So the electricity generation, their crops, their imports, and see the beauty. Being a hostile country to us, the basic supplies India was still providing to them on humanitarian basis.
Correct.
From Wagah border, the medicines, onions, potatoes, tomatoes, which their country is not producing adequately, was going. So that has also been stopped. So the basic commodity prices are going to rise. Water is going to fall short. Electricity is, in any case, the foreign reserves are just 9 billion. India is 700 billion. So the importing ability,
no match.
They are in FATF grey list. On 9th, as we speak, a few days from now, the IMF is again going to give them $1 billion of tranche to bail them out from the basic. So
that money will eventually stop. We have discussed a lot about Pakistan, Air Marshal. Now I will take you back to India now, where we just saw a notification from Ministry of Home Affairs about mock drills. And I would like you to tell me if you recall anything like that, if India had ever done something like this before.
Yes, we did. See, in every military establishment, we have these regular practices. We regulate and we practice for warlike situations.
This time they have asked civilians also to undergo.
I'm coming to that. So the services do it regularly. In this, we dig up bunkers, we dig up trenches, we take in that the enemy has jumped the fence and come inside. We simulate a lot of other contingencies which we do. But at national level, I think so it is happening. The main thing I recall, we were all kids in 1971 war.
Yes.
And I come from a defense family, so I recall our father when my father was in the Air Force.
He was posted where?
He was posted in a frontline fighter base.
Okay.
So we recall going through those drills of blackout. We were told to put off lights, draw curtains. Because when the enemy aircraft is coming, it becomes they switch off all the runway lights, all the surrounding lights are out. It becomes very difficult for them to pick up the features. So that is the reason.
To strike. Okay.
So these blackouts are done basically to deny a visual target to the enemy aircrafts. Also, we were told as kids to be aware if you see anything suspicious. As kids, I recall. Similar thing happened around 87 when
87.
Brass tacks happened. So there was a large-scale mobilization. General Sundarji was that time the army chief.
Okay.
And the full army was moved this thing.
What was that incident?
87, there was a massive exercise, the army exercise. The Pakistanis had done a lot of blunders around the border area and killed a few people. And that is the period when Ziaul Haq had taken over. And the Islamic way of bringing up Pakistani army began. And after that, the real problem in Kashmir began. 87, 88, 89. So we were posted at that state and as a young flying officer. So around that time, these drills were done. But now, in 2025, after many years, for this civil setup to be activated is something which is fascinating. Because what has happened today, a young boy or girl in any city in our country does not know that he also or he or she has a role in the national defense. If that child is told by the teachers, the parents and the society and media that if there is a conflict, what all are his or her duties, that person will willingly and happily cooperate. But there should be somebody to tell that. So that is the effort which the Ministry of Home Affairs has taken in today.
Now, let's give me some insight into Indian Air Force. You have donned many hats, you can say. We can say that now IAF is ready. We believe that our Air Chief has met Prime Minister more than 5 to 6 times in last 4 or 5 days. So if they get a complete free hand, will this be the last of Pakistan?
See, in my appreciation, this time we are going full bore. So in 1971 war, Indira Gandhi called General Manekshaw, and that was in the similar period around May to attack Pakistan. He said, "Madam, I can give you one suggestion. You give me about 7 to 8 months of period. Let me prepare. The weather would be in our favor, and I would like to attack around November, December. If you want somebody else to do what you are wanting, then you please change me." And we know the result. In 13 days, 3rd December 71, the war began, and on 16th December 71,
Pakistan surrendered.
They surrendered 93,000 people along, and Bangladesh was created. This time, in my appreciation, we are going in full hog. It is not a normal, it will be a full-fledged conflict for which we are preparing. Now, for your viewers, the changes that have come in now is from 2022, Russia-Ukraine war. Both the war, one which is fought in Europe and one in the Middle East. These are long and prolonged wars. It's already 3 years. It's already 1.5 years in Israel. So if the international community, their allies, pitch in openly or tacitly, we as a nation should be able to sustain that kind of. And second thing, which the new dynamics of the warfare that is happening is that drones, satellites, EW, electronic warfare, jamming are the new mantras which are combined with your normal traditional warfare, which was not there till a few years ago. So in case we have to integrate these things, see, we were not prepared. The nation was not. Will
this be a war of rockets, like you saw, like Israel launching rockets at Iran, Iran firing in retaliation?
It will happen. It is multi-dimensional. It is escalatory war. So we are not preparing for initial strike. We are preparing for the 20th step, which they may take. It's called escalatory ladder. So it is time consuming. The ordnance factories have to churn out. India has, in last 5 to 7 years, developed so much of indigenous capability. Our private industry, we are manufacturing BMPs, we are manufacturing tanks, Kalyanis, the Bharat Forge is making Pinaka artillery guns, Pinaka missiles, DRDO, our own BrahMos. So, Tejas. So what has happened is this ecosystem will have to be put in place. The stocking and this would continue, and also the finer, tuning before any concert. The various players sit and practice for some time, tuning things before the main. So we are in that phase now, where the intelligence gathering, where our own assessments, our strengths, weaknesses, the enemy's strengths and weaknesses, opportunities, threats, they're all being, closely worked out. And I'm sure at the designated time, things will be
our choosing.
We, the media and the common people, I would like to request that don't push and hurry up things. It is not कि उसने मुझे मार दिया तो आपने क्यों नहीं मारा, ऐसा नहीं है. So
in haste, we should not take any action that like we end up having more casualties.
We are prepared, because most likely the non-kinetic actions taken by the government itself will start to show results in a few weeks. The internal turmoil, and they will tire themselves out. Okay. Unlike the previous conflicts where their army was totally deployed on the eastern front along with India, today it's not so. They are stretched from Balochistan to Iranian border, to Afghanistan, to Sindh. So their army is scattered. They're getting tired. And with our forces now moving to the border, they'll have to pull out people from those, from their western side. So that will give further free hand to the insurgents in those areas to take care. So internally, I feel somewhere it'll start to affect them.
Air Marshal Sanjeev Kapoor, we would soon like to see our warbirds flying across the enemy's line and hope we get the desired result and we end up eliminating the Sayyid Salahuddins and Maulana Masood Azhars and their masters in Pak Army. Thanks for your valuable time, sir, and we'll hope to come back to you soon again.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.